The GDP of the continent is mostly in the services sector. 9.6% contribution from manufacturing, almost 50% from services. But services is ports, it's airlines, it's digital, it's logistics, it's hubs. I just came from Djibouti that has 7 internet cables that land there. But I want to say that I think what Mukisa said as well is it's not just that we have the infrastructure has to be cheap and accessible. And essentially what we're trying to do with many of the ports that we're putting together, and when you look at the West Africa front, we don't have as many ports serving West Africa as we would like to have. We don't have as many ports serving East Africa, we have a lot more. But I think that that's where the digital space becomes quite important. When we talk about leadership on the continent, we talk about governance on the continent, the more you use industrialization and digitalization 4.0, you do what the French call dématérialisation, which means you take away people from transactions. They become more efficient and they become easier, which is essentially creating a good business environment for the private sector. So we hope that we will see a lot more private sector come as the CFTA begins to get into implementation and we do more services on the continent.
And do you think that these ecosystems that are needed to get there, are they being created fast enough in your view?
Variable geometry. The answer is yes in some parts of the continent. I think when you go to Kenya today, Kenya is doing blockchain, Kenya is doing artificial intelligence. In Kigali, I just came from Kigali last night. It's essentially an E4. If you look at it, South Africa is doing quite well. Togo, I see the Minister of Togo there. They are also working really hard to move on the digitalization front. Morocco, I think we talked about. Egypt, we talked about. Of course, Senegal, Togo, Benin. So there's a number of countries actually. I think because of our population structure, the youth are into it. And again, it's a question of getting the state and the legislative process to provide an enabling environment for that. But there is actually, I think, a lot happening. And in Mali, if actually you Google the speed and the use of bandwidth and internet, even in places like Mali, you see a lot happening.